Hopefully you joined us yesterday for the Season 2 review of 13 Reasons Why. Now, 13 Reasons Why, when it came out last year, and for that matter this year, stirred up a lot of controversy about the sensitive subject matter that it was portrayed in the show.
So this show talked about sex, drugs, suicide, rape. What else? Bullying.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like the big things that stuck out. And, well, apparently the internet has a problem with it. A big parental advisory group in the U.S. I don't know how big they are. I don't know. Big, maybe a overstatement of them. I don't know. But they, along with others, have tried to urge Netflix to take the show off their streaming service because it may incite emotions in people to do bad things, in a sense. And I'm just like, or it could make them talk. One of the two.
Yeah. In the opening of this season 2, they actually had a montage of all the actors talking about, if you need to talk to somebody, please go here. If you need to talk about this, please talk to an adult, talk to a friend, talk to a counselor, talk to your parents. Talk.
This is one thing that I find so hard and so... It irritates me because everybody sits here, everybody uses a platform to sit there and say, it's okay to talk. It's okay to talk. It's okay to talk. Acceptance. But if you go to your employer and say, hey, I'm having a little bit of problems mentally, 90% chance you're not going to have a job soon. Because they don't care. Everybody says, like, oh, I'm accepting of this, I'm accepting of that. But I don't think that's really true. How many times have we, like, shrugged somebody off? Have you ever shrugged somebody off who comes to you and says, hey, I just need to talk? I'm sure I have in my life.
Okay, I'll have to say yes. Probably because I have done it. But I would like to say no because I try to make an effort. If somebody says I want to talk, I'm okay with listening. I haven't had a problem with being the shoulder for people to cry on, so to speak. But I'm pretty sure that I have brushed people off. It's human nature.
Yeah,
you're focused on your life that you don't necessarily notice other people's lives. And when, it's always funny. It's like, whenever they arrest somebody for being a mass murderer, right? It's like they always talk to the neighbors, and the neighbors are like, oh yeah, he's a quiet guy, nice and friendly, etc., etc.
That's just code for I didn't notice the kid, or I didn't notice the guy.
Yeah, it's like nobody ever notices the psycho.
What are you going to come out and say, oh, I noticed him killing birds in his backyard? Because then you'll be like, why didn't you say something?
Who am I supposed to talk
to?
What
am I supposed to do?
My neighbor's killing birds.
Yeah. Like,
okay, buddy.
Yeah.
Go smoke another doobie.
Yeah. Go have another drink.
Right?
I don't know. I just think, like to me, for people to be coming out and be outraged and stuff like that, yes, you should, as a parent, monitor your kid if they're watching this type of show because it is very sensitive and it's very tough. I can only imagine what high school is like nowadays. When we were in high school, we didn't have social media. Yeah. The bullying, once you left school, it kind of stopped. It was over.
It pretty much
They couldn't follow you home. Now, they can follow you home. They can go on your
yeah.
social media and they can put up pictures on the internet of you and stuff like that. And it's like, it never stops 24 hours a day. It never stops. So I can understand where, when you're in high school, your mentality is, this is the world. This is how everything is. I have to be accepted here. When really, in reality, you don't learn this until you leave high school and grow up, that no, it's not.
High school is what you have to do is survive high school.
Yeah,
right.
Like
get
yourself
grades.
Get yourself
so you
3
can go
friends.
To college.
Get yourself 3 friends through high school that are going to be there for you through all 3, 4, 5 years of it, whatever. Be friends with them and just fuck everybody else. You know what I mean? You don't need to be popular.
Yeah, you don't need to go to these parties because once you're out of high school, you can have your own parties the way you want them.
And trust me, you know, like
who you want.
When I was in high school, I was like I wasn't a popular guy. I had friends.
Yeah.
But I never went to the parties. I never like hung out with. I hung out with like I said, 3-4 people.
I didn't start going to parties until I was my
I leave
first
high school.
job.
Yeah, I leave high school.
And I was done high school.
Yeah, it's like people are like, "Hey, you want to party?" I'm like, well, okay.
Okay.
I'm like, "Why are you inviting me to a party? I'm the loser." But people don't care.
Yeah, they just show up, bring beer.
Yeah,
That's it. You show up, I brought beer, and they go,
okay.
"Hey!"
Yeah, it's so weird.
Done.
It's so weird when you leave high school and you enter the real world. Is there still bullying? Yeah, of course there is. Of course,
but
is there still sexual? Is there sexual assault? Is there rape? Of course, yes. Of course, I'm not sitting there telling you that shit doesn't exist.
But once you're out of high school, there are other avenues in which you can deal with things, right? If somebody's being a bully, if it's at work, guess what? You talk to your manager.
Yeah.
And hopefully something happens.
Hopefully,
if not, you would leave your work and go someplace else.
Yeah, like,
or you slash the guy's tires, right?
or you slash his throat and
well,
go to jail and murder trial and fucking no. Like I don't.
If you're going to kill somebody, think about what you're going to do and make sure you can get away with it.
Premeditate it for first degree.
Yeah, don't go under a manslaughter
because
people in jail will look at you and go, "You killed somebody, I'm gonna fuck you up."
Yeah,
that's it.
I don't know. It's just like we want to be a society that's accepting, and then you get a show like this that crosses the line and makes you have to talk about and have a conversation about stuff like this, and you want to shut it down.
Yeah, honestly, parents, if you are worried that your child is going to do something because they watched a show, guess what? They're going to be thinking about it regardless of whether or not they're going to watch this show, and they need an outlet. Well, this show might actually be a really, really good outlet. You sit down with them and watch it. Because by the end of it, they might go, I don't want to be that guy.
You know,
or, I don't want to be that guy.
It's so hard being a parent now. I'm sure it was hard being a parent before, too. I'm sure it's always been hard being a parent. Being a parent is one of the hardest things ever.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a fine line between disciplining your kid and being their friend. And it's like, to me, this is my opinion only, fuckers, don't fucking whatever. I think that as a parent, you always want to protect your child. You want to keep them from making the same mistakes that you did. But unfortunately, you have to let them
make the
same mistakes you did like when you were younger. You fucking smoked weed. You probably did drugs. You drank. You had sex. Your kids are gonna do the same thing. You know what was weird? And one thing that really, like, for me in our childhood was our parents were never like, don't smoke weed. They never told us, don't do this, don't do this. They were like, you want to do it?
Said is like,
bring it home for us and do it at home.
Yeah, and it's like...
And in our brain we went, well, then it's not cool to do. Why would I want to do that with my parents?
I know, it's just like, no.
So somebody passes around a joint, you're like, nah, I'm good. Like, I don't know, maybe because we were like, I don't know, maybe we were, I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's an upbringing. Like, I don't know, like, maybe that's a stupid way to do things. But to me, it sounds very logical.
But, okay, this is my defense, and I'm going to be doing the same thing with my 2 children, is like, you guys want to do drugs? Sure.
Yeah. Here we go.
We'll set up a night. This is what do you guys want to be doing? I will be the
sober one to...
I will be the designated driver.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term.
But doesn't that make logical sense? Doesn't that, like, logically sound correct? Because I would rather have my kid in front of me, with me, knowing that I can keep them safe if they're on a bad trip, rather than in the middle of a bush, tripping out bad, with other people who are tripping out bad.
Mm-hmm. Who don't care.
Who don't care if you're tripping out bad.
Yeah. And that's the whole point of it, is just, hey, I'm giving you a nice... safe place to try something so you know what it does to you, so you can be better prepared for it in the real world.
And you know what I'm going to do? Oh, you want your friends to come over? You guys are going to have a little party and you want to drink some booze? No. Hey, absolutely. I will call their parents and I will tell them that I'm going to be around. Oh, you can't do that. okay, then Jimmy's not allowed to come because obviously his parents don't want them drinking.
Mm-hmm.
But if you let me call the parents and explain what's going on,
It's actually happened at my house.
like,
The missus, her youngest, wanted to party and wanted to have booze, and we're like, sure, who do you want to invite? Give us parents' numbers. Let's talk.
we'll
to
call
them.
them, yeah. And how did the parents react?
Well, one of them ended up showing up in a bad mood. So, but for the most part, it went well.
But just think about that, eh? Like, even in, like, European cultures, they let kids drink wine with dinner.
Mm-hmm.
They don't vilify alcohol, drugs, and sex.
No,
because-
what they do is personal responsibility.
Yeah.
It's like, this is alcohol. You need to know how to handle it so you're not a
Yeah.
dick. And yeah, that's kind of the way it is. Because right
We've all
now,
had drunken nights where we do stupid stuff. I've been smashed on my mind and done retarded stuff. Absolutely.
oh yeah,
Absolutely.
fun stories.
Like, absolutely. And you look back at them and go, God, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
You know what I
Thank
mean?
God
Thank
I
God I
didn't
didn't
have
kill
a
anybody.
camera.
Yeah, thank God I didn't have a camera. Holy shit, man. Oh my God. If I had a camera,
Oh yeah, it'd be way worse.
I would not be on this YouTube show right now. I would not be risking putting my face out there for anybody to find any dirt. Because there is dirt. But unfortunately, well, I'm sure maybe somebody could find something.
Yeah, probably,
But really, it's like, you know, I don't know. I just think we're trying to bubble wrap the world too much. And we're trying to vilify things that shouldn't be vilified. And it's like, alcohol is alcohol. Sex is sex. Most people do it. Most people drink it. Drugs is drugs. A lot of people do it. Why don't we start educating people about it?
Mm-hmm.
Teaching personal responsibility. Hey, you get drunk? There could be consequences to your
with the
actions.
consequences. Yeah, it's not. There could be. There will be.
Yeah.
Regardless of if you don't do anything while you're drunk, the next morning when you wake up, there are going to be consequences from a night of
You're
drinking.
gonna be hungover.
There's going to be consequences
Yeah.
from a night of drugging, for that
Mhm.
matter. It doesn't matter.
And talking to your kids, especially about consent. You know what I mean? And it's like,
See, that's the entirely weird thing, is I don't ever remember
yeah, I don't remember
our
ever
parents
being talked to
talking
about
about it,
consent.
but
It's just logically tricked in my brain that, well, if somebody says no, leave them alone.
yeah.
Like,
There
it just
was-
logic,
there was-
something in my brain just clicked and goes, no.
Now,
Okay.
I'm sure there was some point in time where one of our parents said, you know,
Oh, I'm sure,
but
absolutely.
we just don't.
We don't remember.
recall what
It wasn't like a
was.
strict sit down, listen to me, boy. It was just kind of maybe a more, hey, no means no, respect people. How if you don't want somebody to do something to you and you say no and they keep doing it, how are you gonna feel? So imagine you doing that to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And it just maybe it resonates more because I'm an adult
Yeah.
and I think more logically now as an adult than I did when I was a kid. You know what I mean? So like when you're young and a teenager, you think you're invincible. You think you can do anything. Now as an adult, you're like,
No,
No,
I'm
I
not
can't do it.
invincible.
no.
Definitely not. So
Yeah.
it's the show is a great starting point if you ever want to have a conversation about
a fantastic
anything
starting
with
point. Oh my
your
God.
children. Like it hits everything that you need to know about. When you watch it, you go minus the cell phones. That was
That was high
my
school.
childhood. Like that was high
Yeah,
school.
like if you go through high school, I was like the emo kid. That was me almost, except without the dark hair and the rings and stuff. I was the outcast who wasn't looked at as a popular person, you know.
Mhm.
And it's like I tell my wife, I say that was like I was an outcast, you know. I said you would never talk to me if we were in high school together. You would never have talked to me. You would have probably made fun of me.
Yeah, he didn't blossom until he was out of high school. Actually.
Yeah.
That's when.
And that's the weird thing is that you think like this is your peak in high school. You're like, this is who I'm gonna be forever, and it's like
No.
not even close.
As soon as you're
Not
out
even
of,
close.
As soon as high school's done, the world becomes way different, and you start to realize that high school is nothing.
Yeah.
And I wish somebody had told me that when I was in high school, because honestly,
Somebody
it's-
probably did, but we didn't listen because we were kids and we thought.
okay, maybe a
Like-
non-parent told me something to that effect, but because it was a non-parent, it was
Yeah.
like, who the hell are you?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't think we should be shitting on shows like this, on shows that try to attack real world problems and head on. not or beat around the bush.
And-
They didn't try to. I don't think they tried to glamorize it. I don't think they did at all. I think
this
they
was
just.
brutal. Like
I think they just told it from a straight. This is how things work.
Yeah. There was no, at the end of it, it's like, yeah, I want to go and sodomize somebody. Oh, yeah, I want to go and do drugs. Yeah, none of that happened.
It made me have compassion for people who were on the other end. Like, I was bullied. It made me have compassion for myself. And it's like, I don't know. It was a great show. It was fantastic. And this negative energy that's coming towards it is like, what are we doing?
Yeah, no. This show should be celebrated.
Yeah, absolutely.
This almost should be like required viewing in like comm classes or something.
Oh man,
career and life management for those
Yeah.
who might not actually know what that is.
career and life bullshit.
Watching it, yeah, it's 13. Would be 26 episodes, but you know what? That's your whole season. And
Could you
can watch
imagine
an episode
having a
and
conversation?
actually have a
like that in
conversation
class?
about what just happened?
Bring in a few like adults. Not just one teacher, but bring in a couple, have like a panel or something like that with their students, and watch this show, have discussions about it, how it made them feel. Imagine being able to just talk openly amongst people your own age with adults who moderate without getting emotionally involved. You know, like in school, we're trying to protect our children, and it's like, what are we protecting them from?
We should only be protecting them from doing something incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
And
If somebody comes
they're
to
going to
you,
do something stupid. You know, when the child goes for that light socket the first time, you don't let them do it.
No.
The second time, you want to just make him go jump and make them realize. But you know what? You still stop them. That's what you do.
because you
Other than
know that it's stupid.
Yeah.
But if they fall, you don't immediately run over there.
And
You
cuddle
watch
them.
them. You
You
go,
go-
are you okay?
And at that point in time, you know what to say. Because kids know these things. They know how to feed on emotions, negative and bad.
And teenagers know it too.
Mm-hmm.
We all know it. Even adults know how to feed on emotions and push buttons, and we all do it to each other. It's just this world gives me a headache, man. It just makes me just like, I don't know. Do I want to live in a different time? Because was it the same? I don't know, because I only live in current times, and the current times, the world we're living in, it makes me sad. It really makes my heart break. It makes me. I've put down social media. I used to always like follow all the news and stuff, and I put it down because I just can't. I can't do it anymore. There's too much negative crap out there. Everything that's put out there, somebody puts a negative spin on, and I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of hearing like this show is fantastic. This show should be celebrated, fucking pushed on people, and watch it because it's friggin' amazing. Because it starts a difficult conversation that nobody wants to have.
Yeah. As we said in a review yesterday, season 2, we were worried about it because, you know, it's a season 2, but after watching it, it was a fantastic series. It's great. Watch it. Have a conversation because, you know what? Some people do need to talk.
I'm never going to tell you how to raise your kids or how to run your family.
We can recommend things, and this is one of those.
But this is like, just use logic. That's like, it's like common sense. Logic is like common sense now. Non-existent.
It's a superpower. That's how rare it is.
It has to be. It has to be. And I suffer from both. And it hurts, man. It hurts. Just remember when you were a kid what you did. When you were a teenager what you did. And what your kids are doing. Just...
They're going to do the same thing. Just make sure you're there to help them. Mm-hmm. You know, be there.
I don't know. It's just...
Mm-hmm.
It's tough.
It is. It really is. After watching this series and having somebody go, oh, you should take it off the air. No.
It makes you open your eyes of what kind of bubble and what kind of box or square or whatever people
we
want to
don't
live in.
need that bubble wrap.
No.
We need to have these conversations and...
It's like ripping a Band-Aid off, man.
Yeah.
If you go slowly, it's going to hurt. If you rip it quick,
it still hurts.
Still hurts, but not as for only quick. Guys, let us know down below if you've watched this season, what you think about it. Hey, let us know your parenting tips for sure. Throw how you feel about our logic of smoking weed with your kids or having a beer with your kids at 16, 14, or whatever. Let us know what you guys think about that. And yeah, have yourselves a wonderful. Don't hit that fucking subscribe button, but there, bitches. I mean that in a very nice way.
Yes, you do.
I mean it in the most sincere way.
Mm-hmm.
You're good bitches out there.
Okay.
Peace.
See ya.